Guys, good morning. Welcome to another edition of American Nomad. I'm that guy from Reno, and today we are at DL Bliss State Park, paddle boarding down to Rubicon Cove. It's going to be the best day ever. DL Bliss Park is located 17 miles south of Tahoe City on Highway 89, a couple miles north of Emerald Bay. If you've never experienced this park before, it's something you just don't want to miss. It's absolutely spectacular, and today we're going to walk through how to have a successful day trip at DL Bliss. Since it's so beautiful and accessible, it's also typically very busy and kind of crowded. Parking is very limited as well, so if you're going to do a successful day trip there, have it planned out. Arrive there early and have a plan and an itinerary. Don't beat it to death. You want to have some level of spontaneity. But today, I decided to start my morning off early at Lester Beach, launched my paddle board, and paddled down to Rubicon Point, Rubicon Cove, where I like to park it, and had a little breakfast and then paddled back. And you could see the weather was absolutely spectacular for a spring day. The water is super cold, so you definitely want to acclimate before you get in there, because if you fall in, you're gonna get a shock. So you do want to acclimate first. Make sure you're wearing a life preserver for sure, because when you do fall in, that water is so cold you're gonna gasp. You're usually underwater when this happens. As a result, you'll inhale a bunch of water. A lot of people drown as a result of that very symptom. So best practice, definitely go out with a buddy if you can. If you are doing a solo trip, again, flotation device is a must. A safety whistle would be a good practice too. At this point in the morning, I'm heading back to Lester Beach. It's probably about a 2-mile round trip. Gonna park it there, load my board, change out into some hiking clothes. The next stop is going to be the Lighthouse. All right, so we started off our trip at Lester Beach and paddle boarded out to the Rubicon Lighthouse area, and then back to Rubicon Point, returning back to Lester Beach. Next, we're headed off to the Rubicon Trailhead, and since parking's so scarce around here, we're not going to take a chance on losing a spot. We're just going to go ahead and hike it to the trailhead and head on our way to the Rubicon Point Lighthouse. Continuing our journey up the Rubicon Trail to the Rubicon Point Trail, Lighthouse Trail, this is where it all begins. What a great way to continue the day after a morning of paddle boarding. Here we get to loosen up our legs a little bit and head up the trail. Now this trail is relatively short. It's about 3 miles round trip. However, there's about a 500-foot elevation gain, and it's really steep with some very steep stair steps. So take your time and keep that in mind as you're navigating this trail. The wildflowers are absolutely spectacular and to be had everywhere, and snowflowers as well. This was the first time for me I actually got to see one. All right, I'm on the Lighthouse Trail, pretty much at the top of it here at DL Bliss. And the weather has chosen to give us a break today, which is awesome because we were expecting rain and thunderstorms at this time. Looks like it's not going to move until later. I did catch a glimpse of the lighthouse on the way up the trail, and I'm not exactly sure where we'll see it from up here, but here's a sign here, and here's a trail going down to it. All right, how exciting is this? And there it is. There it is, folks. Rubicon Lighthouse here at DL Bliss State Park. It is officially the highest perched lighthouse in North America at 6,300 feet. Ain't that something? It was decommissioned in the mid to late 20s, but it was used as a beacon for maritime across the lake. Very interesting. Well, there you have it. Wow, that was totally worth it. DL Bliss and Emerald Bay State Park have so much to offer. If you want to have a great time there, a little preparation will go a long way. Know what you want to do and where you want to do it, and be aware of local events so you can plan your movement accordingly and not get hung up in the crowds, because it is a popular spot and you can see why. Here I am headed back to the trailhead, and I was really feeling it, so I had a nice light jog going and very excited to head to the next site that I'm going to scope out, and that is the Balancing Boulder. The list of things to do at DL Bliss and Emerald Bay State Park are just off the charts, so be sure to check the link below in the description. Like and subscribe, be a part of the conversation if you have something to share. And keep in mind that DL Bliss also is the home of the black bear. You really want to be bear aware. Please educate yourself on appropriately navigating the area so you can do it safely and enjoy it. Next stop, we are headed to the Balancing Boulder and going to conclude our day there. If you're going to see the Balancing Boulder, and I do recommend that you do if you haven't before at DL Bliss, save it for the end of the day. It's at the entrance of the park, and it has a big parking area, so unlike other areas of the park where the parking lots are limited, there's a generous parking area up here, and again, it's on the way out, so you can plan your egress around it. As you see here, it's quite magnificent. The top boulder is reported to weigh 130 tons, so it's very impressive. This is going to conclude our trip here today at DL Bliss. We'd like to invite you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, be a part of the conversation here at American Nomad, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.